Drizzle, 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 drizzle. You know what I mean? Hey, I ain't gonna even much front. I would say sprinkle, sprinkle. I ain't gonna lie. To all the females out here, don't get it twisted. We men, we love y'all. We do. We do. I mean, it's hard to explain. You know, y'all love to hate us, but we don't really feel like that. And I think most of the time, females, sometimes it could be your attitude and your personality that can cause you to be actually what I could say considered disliked by a male or go through problems with men. Because I promise you, some of them men that you've been mistreating, you've been treating bad, the truth of the matter could have made a great husband or great partner in a relationship with, but you don't see it that way. The day we gonna get into delusion, and don't get it twisted. I don't like to throw things at females or try to make them feel bad. You know what I mean? But I have to be able to point out the behaviors. See, don't you women want things to change and get better for you? Don't you want a man to respond positive to you? Don't you want positive attitudes and to actually be able to get a positive way of life? I mean, I don't know what else how else to actually put it, because it's almost like how do you get into the mind of a woman as a man and to convince them to understand that it might be you and your personality and your attitude and your high expectations that's causing you the greatest amount of problems in life. But, this is how y'all are. This is all, when it comes down to it, the only thing that matters is this.
What would you want his income to be? I feel like this is going to sound bad. I feel like 300,000.
I would have to say 127, probably 150 to $250,000 a year.
$500,000.
You heard that? The lady asked a question. Like, what you think of your husband income should be like? You get married, what you expecting out of a man? And she said, I feel like this might be bad and it's going to be... No, you know it. You know it already. You see what I mean? It's not the fact that you feel like anything. You already know what the situation is. And I think a lot of times when it comes down to females, deep down inside, you already know that if I were to say reaching ain't even the thing that I can actually say to myself that is the obvious thing that you're doing. Like you're leaping, you know what I mean? And it's like, that might not be good for you, because in the end results, what you're going to do is you're just setting yourself up for a failure. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, it's almost like you blowing, you never had a balloon, you blow it up. And it's just for the females now, you know what I'm saying? I get to y'all males. I'm going to get to y'all too, you know what I mean? Because you know me, I like to cut behind. But right now, I'm just trying to just get through to these women real quick to see if I can get some understanding. Maybe they can understand, maybe they can't. But females, you know how when you take a balloon and you blow it up, 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 and then it gets so big and then you be like, boy, I don't know if it could take some more air. But then you say, what? Go ahead, try to put some more in it. So you blow, then it go boom, it busts. This is the same thing that happened when you try to put all of this on a man. When you put all these demands on the man. When you put all these commands on the man. Eventually, you're going to blow up in your face and you ain't going to like it. So I would advise you to, be realistic when you're looking for something. Don't just look for things to go your way and not be realistic.
Ideally, my husband needs to be making like $650,000.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh.
So you said you want $500K, but what do you think the median income is for a 30-year-old?
$60K? $70K?
It is $45,000.
modern women have an inflated sense of their own worth, which is often disconnected from their actual value in the dating market. For example, I once had a session with a woman in her late 30s who earned a substantial income of around $35,000 per month.
Did you hear that? Now, I stopped it here. I mean, I wanted y'all to see where I'm going with this, but I stopped right here so you could just hear that part, because I don't want you to miss this right here. You know, because now it's talking about a female who has high expectation and she's dating, and she's in her late 30s. Like, she's women. Y'all need to start grasping this stuff. Like, don't run past it. Catch a hold of what's really going on. So this woman right here. Well, not this woman. This is just, this is talking about it. But this woman, she's trying to find somebody to date, or a good partner. She's making $35,000 a month. Now, I find that to say, that is like remarkable, like a great achievement for any person to be making, male or female, to be making that kind of money. You know what I mean? In their 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s. You know what I mean? But all in all, that's still great. You know what I mean? It's good. A person can find their niche and knack in life and, put it to good use, and it benefits them. So that's great. But like I say, when you got high expectations because you're making all of this money, you can't expect that you're going to find someone that you're compatible with to be making this same amount of money, because you might actually find someone making more, but you're not compatible, and you will never be happy with them because they might always be working to make more money than you. Even worse than that, they could be making more money than you, and just because they treat you as though you're just an object, or you're just a possession to be put on a mantle, not on a pedestal, but on a mantle. So please beware, female. Don't think just because you're making all this money and things are so great for you, it's going to be great.
She had achieved success as a sole owner of a business, earning significant money. However, she faced a problem. She had 2 young children, one of whom was a newborn and the other less than 4 years old. She asked me for help in finding a man, as she is not currently dating anyone and is a single parent. Despite having a good income, she desires an educated alpha male who earns more than she does. This is not an uncommon request, as I often come across similar situations. She seemed unaware of her true value in the dating world. In her youth...
See, this is what I'm saying. See, ladies, this is going to be a problem in your life. This is the type of problem that you're going to have in life. And having these problems going to consist of the fact that if you are making this kind of money, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you are making this kind of money, but believe me, most females are not making this kind of money. I mean, they're not, most males are not making that kind of money. You know what I mean? But let's say you know what I mean, you do find someone to be with you. You shouldn't be having to look for this person to be making what you're making. Value does not come in a dollar. And this is the biggest thing that I'm trying to get people to understand. Value does not come in a dollar. And if you value that dollar, when that dollar is gone, you have no value. So you got to understand that it's got to be more to it than that, just that alone. But like I say, I digress, and people really don't want to hear that, because me talking is like saying, oh, you talking broke points. No, I'm talking reality. I'm not, and not that I look at a person to make them want to be down or down, but when all of this is gone, what would you have? You feel what I'm saying? So people need to start looking at it like, we got to look at how much money you have, or what you make, and that's your worth, because that's not your worth. That has nothing to do with your worth or your value. So please believe me, even males, same thing. You know what I mean? Just because a woman does not have that kind of money and ain't making that kind of money, that does not actually say that that's her wealth or her value. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't even look at it like that. But that's how people do, and they pretty much they'll be ending up in a position, or they'll be ending up in a way they can't. They'll be ending up in a position or with a person that actually they'll think just because they make that much money, or they make just as much money as me, then they must be good for me, until they get into a relationship with this person and they realize, boy, not only is this bad, I'm sleeping with the enemy.
She was stunningly beautiful. I know this because she shared her social media profile with me. However, her appearance had changed significantly after having 2 children and going through a divorce. Despite her changed appearance, she felt entitled to a better man than her ex-husband, who had left her for someone else. She wanted a man who not only surpassed her in income, but also accepted her and her children into his life. Realistically, there are few...
And another thing is this. Women, stop being bitter. Don't be bitter. And you know what? At the same time, I can honestly understand that she has 2 little children. And you got to understand, did really her husband leave her, or her ex left her because of the fact that she had these 2 little children, and they had 2 little children together? That's not the reason why her husband left her. For the reason why I feel like her husband left her is because of her demands. You see how she, like, look at what she's looking for in the dating market. She's looking for someone to be making more money than her. You feel me? So you got to understand the pressure this man had to be under. Just living with her, having these 2 children, living with her, because she's making this type of money. She probably expected him to make that kind of money. And come on, let's be realistic. He probably couldn't even make that much within half of a year. 6 months, he couldn't probably make that much. You know what I mean? So it's like, instead of her being grateful, having a child's father, I got my child father with me here, and I have my 2 children, and and I'm successful, so we're successful. See, this is what's wrong with females. When women get to be successful, also I'm successful. But when men get to be successful, it's like we're successful. So come on, y'all have to make it make sense. Stop being unrealistic. Y'all have to get with the program and wake up to the truth about this. You know what I mean? So the demands probably was put on this man to do this, and he probably found him a woman who wouldn't put that kind of demands on him, didn't care how much money he was making, and guess what? It was like, do I got to deal with this, or I could deal with that? And then what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna be mad? You gonna be upset? You gonna take him to court? Look how much money you make. You could never stand before a judge. Like, for real, think about it. You making $35,000 a month. How you gonna stand before a judge? What are you gonna get? You're gonna have to get out of their face. Matter of fact, you might end up having to pay him. So y'all women better wake up, because y'all making y'all beds hard right now.
Men in her age group who would be willing to enter into such a situation. As women age, their options in the dating pool diminish, especially for those seeking partners willing to take on the responsibility of caring for someone else's children, which often comes with its own set of complications and drama. The prime age for women in the dating market is typically around 23, after which their value tends to decline. In contrast, men often reach their peak potential later in life, sometimes in their late 30s or even closer to 40. Women, due to a lifetime of receiving attention, mostly from less assertive men, often have inflated self-esteem and a sense of entitlement that may not allow...
Don't miss that. Don't miss what just happened. Don't run past what just happened. You feel what he say? See, them women, when your early ages and your teens and your early 20s, these guys are gassing you up like, oh, beautiful. Oh, you so fine. Girl, you so gorgeous and pretty. And you just like, yeah, I know I get it. Oh, goodness. And then that makes you find yourself, you always in the mirror, you always looking, you know what I mean? You every day, and then, you know what I mean? Like I say, this is what happens with age. It happens with age. Believe me. I'm talking about, listen, I'm in my late 40s, so I know what I'm talking about. And believe it or not, when I was a teenager in high school, I can promise you $1 to the dime, 80% of the females that I would have been attracted to in high school, only maybe now at the age I am, and they are too, probably only 1%, if that, would be attracted to me today. So you got to understand, this is what happens as the years go by. So you need to be getting yourself in your mind right and stop trying to play yourself right out of pocket. Cause that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna play yourself. This is my out of pocket. That's mine. And you will play yourself right out of pocket trying to doggone think you could just push yourself around, pass yourself around, because you passing yourself around. Men ain't passing you around. Y'all need to remember this. It ain't the men passing you around. You passing yourself around. So please understand this. You don't want to do this because in the end, you're going to end up with heartache and headache.
Align with their actual worth in the eyes of more discerning partners, particularly alpha males who may prefer younger, single women. This sense of entitlement is often reinforced through social media. For instance, the woman who earned over $30,000 per month and had a substantial online following likely received admiration and attention primarily from other women. However, most men would not find her appealing due to the way she presented herself and the products she promoted.
You heard what he say? I mean, just listen. Like, see, this is why I want y'all to be able to pay attention to what's going on. And this is why I'm here. I want to try to, actually I can explain or give a more clear understanding to what's really going on. What's really going on is the fact that she's older now. She has 2 children. You know what I mean? She thinks that from her experience, her value goes up. Her value goes up because she got her own career, business. She's a mother, so she knows how to take care of children. She thinks, oh, I got experience in relationship because I done been in relationships or I done had one, but it's a failure. Like, it's not a success, it's still a failure. So even if you're a successful mother, parent, even if you got a successful business, your relationship status, failure. So it's like, this is the thing that most females don't want to wake up to, the reality of this. So a person earning or making more and higher than you, they're not going to look at you as the prize. I hate to say this. They're going to be like, you're more a liability. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand, if a man making more than $35,000 a month, you're not an asset. And then I got to take over to the children too. Like, I say, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes you just got to hear what you hear, females. This is the truth. You know what I mean? So I guess in part 2, I'm going to try to doggone explain this a little more. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all can follow me for part 2 on this, and y'all can kind of hear what I'm saying, and we can move forward, and you can go with this. Till next time, drizzle, drizzle.